for joining us for MasterCoaches Wednesday Weekly Buzz and our after show Buzz Reaction. I'm Ruth Nelson, joined by Hall of Famers Mick Haley, Bob Bertucci, and Brian Gimmillaro, bringing you the most current issues and trends in volleyball. Our weekly news show has leaders in our sport provide their perspective on the questions that are asked, along with the discussions on topics that are current and the ones that are affecting all of us. Our news flash: 3/4 of the 613-person U.S. Tokyo Olympic team competed in American collegiate system. The roster includes 329 women and 284 men, making this the third straight summer games in which the U.S. is sending more women than men to the Olympics. For the first time in NCAA history, athletes are now able to make money from a wide variety of business ventures without losing their eligibility. The biggest dilemma: what is an athlete's fair market value? Front Office Sports has released Athlete Marketing Essentials, a 6-lesson free course designed to help collegiate athletes and those who work with them better understand the tools and resources available to make the most of their ability to profit off name, image, and likeness. Well, is there such a thing as amateur athletes anymore? I don't know about that. You want to make a difference? Please remember to renew your AVCA membership. This is one organization that represents all coaches at all levels when lobbying for changes that are needed in our sport, and you can make a difference by registering at avca.org. All right, today we have Mick joining us from Croatia, along with another guest that he'll introduce in a few minutes. We really want to know, Mick, how is your vacation / wine tasting adventures, as well as wanting to know what are you doing in Croatia? And that is not Croatia, Texas. All right, to you, Mick. Oh, you are muted. There.
Sorry, how about now?
All right, we are loud and clear.
Practice. I haven't been there, so it's great to be back with you guys. And thanks. Very quickly, this is my 29th day in Europe. Cory Soloman invited my wife and I to come to Slovenia for partial vacation and some work. So we took him up on it. We headed this way June 16th. We got in, we took a sailing trip down the Adriatic Sea of Croatia. A wonderful time with Cory and his family and a bunch of friends. You probably saw my wife posting. As soon as we got back, Cory put me in the gym, working with the Slovenian junior team and junior national team, and some of the national team players. I was doing double days. He works me harder than you guys do, I tell you. But we had a great time, and we have some really great athletes we were working with. It was really fun. At the end of the 2 weeks, we packed up again. We headed back to Pula, Croatia, for the Global Challenge, and I'm coaching a team of collegiate students that Cory put together from the United States. But I'm going to introduce Cory Soloman, who's with Bring It USA. He's the guy you want to contact if you're doing tours in Europe. You want to bring your team over here, that sort of thing. And he's put together something really special called the Global Challenge. Cory, jump on here and explain everything to us, and tell us why we're doing this.
All right, thanks, Mick. Hello, everybody. So we started the Global Challenge 17 years ago. This is the 16th edition because we took a pause last year due to COVID, but we resumed it this year. The first tournament was in Salt Lake City, Utah, and the second one moved to Maribor, Slovenia, and then we've been here in Pula, Croatia ever since. The whole idea is it's an international tournament designed to give American players an international experience in not just culture and education, but in volleyball. So we play 100% American rules, meaning our outside hitters have to pass, the middles have to serve, liberos can't serve. So they understand the game. We've had a great connection with USA Volleyball over the years. They've sent the college national team and the junior national team over the years. And that was the purpose of the tournament. And it's just grown from that point.
How many teams do we have here in this tournament, at what age levels, and how many countries are represented, Cory?
Well, this year is obviously a little bit lower because of COVID, We have 18 teams in 2 divisions, a U23 and a U18 division. Normally, it's about 30 teams in the 2 divisions. This year, we have 7 different countries represented. In a normal year, in 2019, when we had the Iranian women's senior team won the tournament, we had 13 different countries at that time. We had China, a team from China, the Beijing women's team, a Japanese university team, like I said, Iran, top European teams, and then a whole slew of American teams. And so I'm sure next year we'll be back to that number.
Okay, so Brian, you had a couple questions regarding the global challenge.
Yeah, Cory, it's nice to see you.
Great to see you, Brian.
Thank you. I wanted everyone to know that Bring It Promotions, I don't think we ever had a better time than we went on the tours with you, with my college team. They were great experiences. Your hosting was amazing. It was incredible being able to see things that normal Americans would never see, you know, and not regular tourists. And it was really a great experience for our teams, athletically, volleyball wise, and socially and culturally. So I just wanted to tell everybody, a college team, you can do no wrong by getting a hold of Cory and Bring It Promotions, and and it will be a good trip for everyone. But anyway, give me some more details on this global challenge. What would you like the public to know?
Well, it's just a really great international tournament. We've had, for example, Cory Soloman coached Israel in this tournament. Israel's here now. Karpel has been here with his Euroloshka juniors team. The Russian junior national team has been here. The Italian junior national team played the USA junior national team in the finals once. So like we said, it's a tournament in July that's designed to match up teams from different countries around the world, but it's also meant to teach Americans international volleyball, where we don't have the unlimited substitutions, where liberos can't serve, where players can't be specialized. And so here we usually have about 10 to 12 USA teams. But what we've done in the last couple of years, which has been really successful, is we've matched Americans with Europeans. So we have 2 teams here, like Sunshine, the California Juniors Club has 4 players mixed with 2 players from Lithuania, 1 from France, / her dad's also the French men's national team coach, getting ready for Tokyo, and then 1 player from Slovenia. We have a club from New York, USA New York. He has 4 girls from New York, 2 from Croatia, 1 from Bosnia, 1 from Slovenia. I think so and 1 from Denmark. Sorry, I knew I was forgetting. So the mixed teams have been incredible, because not only do they have to learn international rules, now they have to learn how to compete with girls from all over the world.
And what about, the high school, the club teams from the high school age are invited, college teams are invited, college all-star teams are invited. Is that correct?
Yes, usually what we do on the university level is we mix teams. So the team Mick is coaching has players from, well, there's 2 Long Beach State girls here. Joyce sent us 2 players, and they go all the way to a player that plays for Pittsburgh. 1 from Ohio, 2 from Regis, Canisius. Put me on the spot here real quick. Well, Eastern Washington is here. So.
And the last question is, you invited Mick for a good reason, and these other coaches, he's a wealth of knowledge, and it's really important to share that knowledge. And other coaches, if they were interested, how would they get an invite?
Well, they would just send me an email directly at Bring It USA or with Tim Kelly, my business partner. And then we've had many college and top club coaches here in the past, too many for me to talk about. So they would just send me an email directly.
All right, thank you, Cory, and it's nice to see you, and I'm passing it over to Bob.
Oh yeah, Bob, here you go. You got at least a couple minutes.
Okay, all right, and I'm ready to go. And Mick, I think it was great that you had a chance to go on vacation, a well-needed break. But we're glad to have you back on the show again. And I got a couple of questions for you. All right, one.
I bet you do, Bob.
All right, how about telling the audience what you've been doing from a volleyball standpoint? All right, and more specifically, what new trends are you seeing in the game?
Well, it's pretty interesting because I'm using the materials that we have developed, the master coaches have developed. Cory brought me over. He had 2 or 3 concerns with the techniques that they were using with the junior national teams and the club teams. And he asked me if I would do an experimental session with the coaches and the players, of which ended up being 2 weeks. And I think has turned out to be very successful. You know, the first thing that I did was teach passing. And that's been one of the things I've done with the Master Coaches clinics. And we got away from linear passing, went to non-linear passing, really got the kids to get the ball on the outside of their body. And they were really, really good. They're playing in this tournament right now. Up until just a minute ago, they were undefeated in this tournament, playing against much older kids in some cases. The second thing we did is we increased the speed of the offense. We ran a much faster offensive system, of which they have adopted, and the setters are able to do that with the passing. Their hitters are exceptional. So that's worked out well. So we've been doing 2 or 3 things like that. And then we've been doing coach training. Even with a little bit of the language barrier, the coaches have been unbelievably receptive to the kinds of stuff that we've brought with us. So I've had a wonderful time. I've made new friends, new relationships, and I really think the players have benefited. I just wish the 3 of you could have been here with me, because you would really enjoy working with these kids.
Hey, you forgot to invite us, because Heather wanted to come too from Michigan.
Who did?
Heather.
Oh, yes. All right. Yeah. Heather Sawyer, she would be there. Well, you know, Russ Carney and his wife were here for a week and a half, and Russ worked with the setters, and he did a marvelous job. But it was too bad he couldn't stay longer. He had some family plans, so he and Sherry had to go back. But I'm telling you, you would love working with these kids. They just are sponges for information, and the coaches, they want to know everything you know. So it's really fun from a standpoint, from our standpoint, because we're looking for people that want information, and we're willing to share.
Excellent.
How about with, working with COVID right now? Maybe you could talk a little bit about, what protocols are in place, and then, more specifically, some differences between the international game as compared to the collegiate game, as you're seeing them, as you're doing more and more volleyball. So
I'm
Bruce,
going
that
to
was the way
defer.
I could get 2 questions in at once.
Yeah, I
see
saw you
that.
sneak that in.
Yeah.
I'm going to defer the COVID issue to Cory a little bit, because he has worked it out for all of these players to be here at this tournament and be safe. So Cory, what's the COVID situation here now, and how did you handle getting everybody here and safely and tested?
Well, the first thing we followed is all the CEV, or Central European Volleyball Association's guidelines. So, which means a lot of testing. Fortunately, we're pretty isolated in our hotel, but we test all of the athletes. We test them repeatedly, and that's the biggest guidelines. We do switch courts between sets, unlike in the US, but they switch on opposite ends, and there's no handshaking or picture taking, just a lot of clapping. But the biggest thing is just a lot of testing right now. Not to get political, but I'll put a plug in for vaccination. Most of the athletes here are vaccinated
Absolutely.
now, which really helps the tournament, et cetera. But everything's going on in Europe right now. All the European championships, all of the qualifications, Champions League finished. So we're just following their protocol right now.
And really, from being from the States and being cooped up for a year and a half before my wife and I were vaccinated, this feels safe. The players, some of the teams are still wearing masks. They don't play with the masks because they wear them around the hotel, but it's not required, but they're just doing it for safety of others. So I really felt like going through the airports, people had the rules down right. The safest thing is if you're vaccinated, you have your vaccinations, you have your card, you probably can go just about anywhere. We have to take a small test to get back into the United States along with the vaccinations, but Cory's providing those no cost to the players and the people in this tournament. So it's been a wonderful experience, and it almost feels like life is normal. As far as the international volleyball, it's really interesting to see the Euros play. They do some things really, really well, and then they're learning a lot from the USA college kids training in some cases. The biggest thing, though, is that if you're a US college player, you got to play 6 rotations in this tournament, and the college players love it. You know, there's only 6 subs, so if you take somebody out, it's only for that particular rotation or maybe 3 other rotations. They can come back in, but that's it. And they stay in the game. So it's been really fun for the U.S. college kids. I think all of them have liked it. The Liberos would like to serve. That's not a rule here that you're allowed to do, but Cory's made the tournament player friendly. The officials are coach friendly. And so it's a very nice tournament to be involved in.
Excellent. Okay, Bob, I know you got another one, so go right ahead.
Okay, so in terms of technique and tactics and strategy, do you see any significant difference either in skill, technique, or tactics that the American players are doing compared to international players?
Well, I think both sides are learning some things. The international coaches are pretty sly. They know exactly what they're doing. They just came off 9-month season. This is their learning time right now. They're at this tournament to learn new things. So a lot of the international teams have not used the slide, the 1-foot takeoff, as much as we do in the United States for women's volleyball. And almost every one of the Euro teams is really working on the slide in this tournament. Some are working with lobs, some are working really fast. It's pretty interesting to see them work. Their systems are interesting for defense. They also usually start their strongest players in the front row that are going to score, and they don't change. They don't match up that much. But in some cases, I see that now changing because the U.S. coaches and U.S. players are doing a little bit more matchups. Israel was interesting today. We played Israel this morning, their national team. They beat us the first 2. We were fortunate that they put subs in for the 3rd one, but they have some really big time hitters that brought a lot of heat today. And our kids got a lot of experience with that just in the velocity, Bob. The velocity was just greater than most of the other teams we played.
All right, you talked about doing a non-linear passing. Did you use the buckets when you were training?
Listen, we needed some buckets. The way some of these teams served at us, they served this Mikasa ball. You know, we don't play with Mikasa ball in college volleyball, and this Mikasa ball, absolutely, the bottom drops out of it. And that's why the passing was so important. To get this clubs in Slovenia to change their passing a little bit, because now they can handle this ball and the velocity a whole lot better. So yeah, I think techniques are sometimes determined by the equipment you play with.
Okay, so I want to go to Cory for a second, and I put up a picture here, which is talk a little bit about this. I mean, it's not like you're just traveling to international tournament and you just play. Talk a little bit about how you've organized these opening closing ceremonies and in the activities. And we heard the person live on the bus, how to get on the buses and everything. So if you go over that a little bit.
Yeah, sure. All the American teams do a 4-day pre-tour before they start.
Okay.
This year, because of COVID, we had 2 teams in Prague, Czech Republic, 2 in Split, Croatia, and the rest in Maribor, Slovenia. But on a normal year, we'll have a lot in Rome, Italy. We'll have some in Belgrade, Switzerland, some in Munich, Germany. And so they start with 4 days in Europe. They train and play friendly matches, and then they all come to Pula. This particular picture is in front of the Roman temple, the Athena temple in the main square in Pula. where all the players come together for an opening ceremonies.
Uh-huh.
And then we have a big closing ceremonies party. The fun thing about this tournament is we have everybody staying in the same hotel. So they eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner together. They sleep together. So the interaction in having 30 teams all in one hotel from 12, 13 different nationalities is really unique and really cool.
Okay, is there any way we can take a look at what's going on behind you?
I'll try my best. Maybe
Oh,
tell
no,
me
I
how
know
to
you've
move
gotten
the
good at
screen.
this.
So right now on this court, we have a team from Modena, Italy, playing a team from
Oh, just a
Florida.
little bit higher on it.
How's that?
Now, a little bit, go more. We see great where the officials are. Keep going. We're gonna go to the ceiling a little bit more. Keep
There?
going. No, you gotta go a long ways up. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Almost. Excellent. There, good job. This is
We
called
love to
remote
have the
camera,
team
right?
from Modena because they bring wonderful gifts.
Yeah, there you go.
And
All
on
right,
this
Nick.
court,
Nick, that was good.
here's Durham University from England,
Uh-huh.
and they're playing the USA New York team that's comprised of all the girls from around Europe. And they have a Slovenian head coach who was also a volunteer assistant in North Carolina for Joe Segula.
Ah,
And so they're just starting the last match of the day on the two courts.
so do you have any college coaches that come there to watch, to recruit?
We've kind of discouraged, we have a little bit in the past, but
Uh-huh.
we kind of allow that for the college coaches who want to come coach it. So the Mountain West Conference has sent an all-star team for 6 or 7 straight years. And
Okay.
we kind of stay away from the recruiting aspect on this tournament, to be honest with you.
Oh, that's great. That's
I
good.
think one of the things though he's done, he's got such a good live feed that any coach that wants to watch the competition can actually see all of the players with the live feed. This is really good this year.
Okay, so Cory, tell us a little bit, if someone wanted to watch, I mean, I don't know how long I could watch with you holding your computer or your phone there. So
Yeah.
you better give me some place to go to catch.
The easiest place is to go to our website, bringitusa.com.
Okay,
And so bringitusa.com, click on the events tab and you'll see the global challenge link. And then on the link, you'll see the live stream tab. And it's right there.
okay. And is that, are you already, I saw the opening ceremonies already live stream. Or do you have any other events that you're live streaming today? Is it the competition today?
Well, we were in the last 2 matches of the day since it's getting later here, starting right now.
Uh-huh.
And then we'll start again early in the morning. Tomorrow starts the tournament part.
Okay, so you're
That's where the best
8:30?
matches go.
Is it
We start at
8:30 p.m.?
8 o'clock Pula time.
Okay,
So-
all right. All right,
So
Mick's
Ruth,
got that.
that's 1 a.m. Central Time.
Okay, Mick,
That's
you're
that.
past your bedtime.
I am. I usually am in bed by 7, yes.
Okay, so Mick, you have a few other
Nick's
things?
team plays at 12 noon Pula time tomorrow, so you can watch him in action. Might
Okay,
have to get up early to watch him.
Yeah, 5 a.m. your time.
okay, so send us a text, Mick.
What?
Send us a
What's the
text.
text?
Yeah, so we can wake up and see you play.
Yes. Actually, I think I told you wrong. It's probably, is it 5 or 7 hours? No, it's 4. 5 would be 7 hours. 5 a.m. So yeah, jump up, watch us in our 12 o'clock match here. It's 5 a.m. your time. Great video. And if we win, we play at 8 o'clock, which is 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. So love to have.
I'm going to schedule that 1 o'clock one, Mick.
Oh, yeah, that's exactly. All right, Cory, if you had something to tell all the viewers of what they can experience by jumping on and watching these live shows, because there isn't another, in the age group, what are the 2 age groups that you guys are doing?
U23 and U18.
Okay, so that means any of those high school kids, because a lot of times there aren't too much that's going on where high school kids get to see high school kids.
Yeah, and the most amazing thing that has happened in this tournament is the number of players that have come who have ended up playing professionally afterwards. It's their first experience abroad. They like it, and then after college, they want to come play professionally in Europe or Asia or South America. And that's been the most rewarding thing, is how many have continued their career. And with the teams from England here, as John can tell you, so many of them are going to England now and completing their master's degree. So that's been the most positive thing for young athletes in the U.S., that there is volleyball after college. I know the U.S. has started a pro league, and I hope that is successful, but there are plenty of places for them to play.
Wow. All right. So I hate to say this, name, image, and likeness. How is that affecting Europe players? I know they have to, the coaches too, be thinking about it.
Well, Europe never had the restrictions to begin with, so they could sell their name, image, and likeness forever. So they didn't have the NCAA restrictions. So that's not changing for them because nothing changed. But I think that's a USA thing. Maybe Mick can address
Oh, yeah.
that.
Well, actually, it's interesting, Ruth. I've heard no talk by the players about it here. You would think that would be some of the scuttlebutt, but they seem to not be worried about it in any way. It just doesn't seem to be an issue right now.
Well, it sounds like they're just excited to be there and playing and learning a new language and being in a country and away from home.
Yeah, and it's beautiful here. I'm telling you, we're this hotel is like 50 yards from the beach. You can go to the water 50 yards away. It's a pretty outrageous opportunity.
Wow.
Cory, if I come, can I take the trip down the Adriatic in the sailboat, please?
Of course you can.
All right, I just wanted to check.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so we're about out of time, and I'm going to jump over here in a minute to John. He's going to update us. But for our viewers, if you've missed one of our shows, and especially today, or you've missed our Remax flashbacks, jump over to Instagram and click on YouTube channel link. Follow us on Facebook at Volleyball Master Coaches, Instagram and Twitter, VB Master Coaches. We have a special shout out to our partners, SNA Sports and Baden Sports, and thanks to our content providers, NFHS and JVA, Coaches Insider, and AVCA. And we have a special thank you to the over 81 now, Cory, you're number 81, coaches and leaders in our sport for being on our show over the past 60 weeks. Now, we're going to jump over to our Buzz and Buzz Reaction digital partner, Dr. John Foreman, who will take a few minutes to update us on his most recent interviews because we buzz past him almost every week. So today, John, you get to update us.
Here's my question. Does Mick count as a guest now? So would that make it 82?
No, he wasn't
Change the
very
count?
good. He wasn't very good.
That's exactly right. Okay, John.
Thank goodness we had Cory this time. We really had no trouble.
No, not a lot going on here. Just trying to get myself ready for hopefully the first actual women's season I get to coach at Badai. But I do have somebody in mind to have a conversation with here pretty soon out of Poland with an interesting new job. So I'll just tease that for now, and hopefully we'll get it recorded and posted pretty soon.
All right. All right. We want to thank Cory and Mick for jumping on and sharing all about the 2021 Global Challenge. And no pressure, Mick, but we are not letting you back on the show unless you come home with a win.
There you go.
Now, you noticed
That's a
I
lot of
didn't.
pressure,
Yeah, you noticed I didn't say what you won. All right, for those coaches that are interested in our consulting services, please go directly to our website, volleyballmastercoaches.com, and click on the contact form, and we can provide you a customized in-person or virtual clinic. Be sure to tell your friends about our weekly news show. And we want to thank you for joining us on the Buzz, and we will see you next week.